And we are rolling on May 31st, 2018, where it's a beautiful sunny day in Los Angeles here at UCLA. The sunshine is shining, yes it is. We have a beautifully landscaped campus. Look at that, students. Aren't we lucky? Beautiful that between classes we can notice the landscape and smell the roses. Well, Aaron is looking around to make sure all phones are away, computers are closed, all eyeballs are upon you. Communicating respect non-verbally, saying to himself, I respect my audience, and really means it. Finds friendly eyes near the front and the center, says his name, feels the love, starts his speech.
Hi, I'm Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
So Kevin Kelly, the founding editor of Wired magazine, describes a future in which our personal documentation can prevent disease, can give us photographic memory, can give us the ability to relive our life's experiences. And actually, we're not that far from this vision of the future. In fact, just last year, we created more data than the human race has for the last 5,000 years of history. That's pretty crazy, if you think about it. And the question that I'm going to ask today is, what benefit has that brought to you? And for a lot of you, probably the answer is not much. So today, I'm going to convince you to download my app, Eternalist, which is a self-writing journal for your life. I'm going to give you 2 reasons why you should download my app, Eternalist, and 3 benefits that you shall receive if you download my app, Eternalist. Many famous people have biographies written about them because their lives are so interesting, because other people want to read about them, because their lives are beautiful in some way. And I sort of believe that we all have beautiful lives. We all live incredible stories that should be shared with other people, if not strangers, then definitely family. For instance, my great-great-grandkids who I may never meet, they should know what my life is like. So Eternalist is a self-writing journal that documents your life so that you don't have to. In essence, it allows you to leave a legacy behind by just living your life. So the first reason that you should download Eternalist is that Eternalist will help you live your best life possible. This is a very clear idea in the fitness industry, where notable figures such as Tim Enriquez, who is a director of a personal training institute, says that if you're serious about working out, you should keep a workout journal. And I think that this is sort of a good parable for life. Like, if you're serious about life, you should keep a journal. And the reasons are obvious. The first one is that it gives structure to your life. You can write down your goals so you have a clear idea of what you're trying to accomplish in life. It keeps you accountable, and it's a blueprint for success. So for instance, if you succeed and you do reach your goal, it's a formula that can be applied for other people, so you can share your knowledge and teach them about how you did it. So I think, for this reason, I'm really passionate about documenting my life, because I think it will help me achieve my goals and really do what I want to do in life. The second reason that you should download my app, Eternalist, is that it will help your legacy live beyond you. So one of my favorite Black Mirror episodes, called Sandy Nipero, follows the story of a couple of people who are able to upload their consciousness to the cloud, basically allowing them to live in a virtual world even after their bodies die. While we're not quite there yet, I think it's pretty absurd the way we handle the data that we create currently and what happens to it when we die. It just kind of like goes out there, disappears forever. And so for me, I feel sort of ashamed almost. Like, it's kind of like, it's shocking to me that we just let this data go away. In my opinion, our stories, our life, this 100-year journey should be recorded for other people to hear about, for other people to learn about. It shouldn't go away. So now, having told you 2 reasons why you should download Eternalist, I'm going to tell you 3 benefits and 3 concrete actions that you can take to start documenting your life with intention. So the first thing, obviously, is that you can download my app Eternalist, which is a self-writing journal. But I realize that probably a lot of you don't want to do that. I'm going to tell you 2 sort of easier things you can do. The second thing you can do is to think about your life and define goals and figure out what it is you want to do and what you want to achieve. And using that framework, you can find metrics that you can measure your success and progress towards those goals. For instance, if you want to lose like 10 pounds, then you can take your current weight, subtract it by 10 pounds, set that as your goal, and then measure your weight every week, every month, whatever, to see how you're doing along the way to the progress. Then you can alter your behavior based on the results you're seeing. So if you had 10 smoothies that week and you are making better progress towards your goal of losing 10 pounds, then keep doing that or do something more extreme. Maybe have 20 smoothies and see if it gets you there faster. The idea is to use data as a way to experiment on yourself and learn for yourself what is best rather than listening to like common knowledge and things that are tested for like the general population. Learn what's best for you and apply that to your life. And with that, I think you can really improve your life and get where you want to be. The last thing you can do, which is the easiest, is to look at data that you've already created. A lot of you might not have thought about all the data that there is out there about you. All these apps that you use create tons of data, like location data, like emotional data, fitness data. All this stuff is on your phone. And perhaps the most obvious is your photos feed. If you haven't looked back in your photos for a while, I would urge you to go back into your photos and scroll through and just think back to all those memories that you have in your camera roll. Think back to the times that you had, the experiences, not just like decoding what's in the image. Like really go back and try to relive those moments, because that exercise of really going back and reliving moments will like strengthen the neural connections in your brain, making it easier for you to retrieve those memories in the future. So it's an investment in the long term so that later you'll have a better time remembering those things. There should be no doubt in this room that you should download my app Eternalist. And to tie it back to the beginning, I really think that we are very close to Kevin Kelly's vision of a future where data empowers us to make the most out of life and to leave a legacy for generations. But there is one thing that's standing in our way, which is the organization of this data, of making sense of all the data that we have, excuse me, and turning it into something meaningful. That's why I created Eternalist, and if you download it today, then you'll be preparing to leave your legacy for tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay, what side did we start on before? That side? Okay, I guess this side. Yes, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Viviana.
Hi, Viviana.
I really, really liked your speech. I think that you're very passionate about your app, and the fact that you made an app is pretty cool. I want to download it right now. Everything you were saying, like obviously you felt it because you made the app for a reason, and so I'm really glad that you chose this as a topic, because I can tell that like that was something that you worked really hard for, and that you really feel passionate about. So thank you for sharing that, and I'm gonna download that.
Hi, I'm Daisy.
Hi, Daisy.
I also agree with you, Minna. Your passion for that really came through, and for like your topic in general. And I thought it was structured really well. You really knew your speech. The only negative I have was maybe that you say a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Aaron, thank you for your speech. It was a unique topic. Did I show the graduation speech in here? I didn't show any graduation speech, right? Maybe I'll do that today if we have time. Legacies are tricky business. And an assumption of your speech is that we all want to leave a legacy, although some people start thinking about it much too late in life after they've devoted a career of amassing money and selfish pursuits, and that's not much of a legacy. People aren't so interested in that. So I would just say, just as a general comment and rule, I would like to have heard you talk about some qualitative dimensions of the legacy, because an assumption of your speech is that everyone, maybe I'm overgeneralizing, but that people will download an app, The Eternalist or one like it, and people beyond your family would be interested in plowing through a boatload of data, and maybe they would and maybe they wouldn't. So, you started with an introduction of Kevin Kelly, and it was rather intriguing and rather visionary. And you said that as the executive editor of Wired magazine, he paints a picture of a future. Now, how soon that will be, we don't know, which personally collected data would help us predict and stop disease, give us a photographic memory, and allow us to relive our life's greatest moments. Sounds good. Just wanted to know when that would be happening. And then when I looked for your tie back, I saw that you did mention Kevin Kelly, so I'm pleased that you have the concept of the tie back down nicely. On your, you also say that we've collected a whole lot of data, and I think that cuts a couple of ways. I mean, there's a lot of data, but garbage in, garbage out. It's a lot of data too, just data. On your thesis, you said, I want to persuade you to download my web app, The Eternalist. And right away, I thought, that's interesting. I thought to myself, are you selling it? Are you giving it away? Does it cost money? You don't have to answer these things because it's too late now, but those are questions that an audience member would have when you say that this is what you want to do. And so I think it makes a difference, whereas your colleague here says, I'm downloading it today. Well, not if it's $99. Right? And it probably is free, but I don't know. But, I'm just saying, right? So, and, one of the principles of persuasion, that your book talks about, and I talked about in making and putting together your concrete actions, is this sort of level of specificity of where do you go exactly to find it, and how much does it cost, and how do you do it, and how do you get it set up, and is it real easy to use, and blah, 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 and what have others that have used it in testimonials said about it, blah, 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 blah. See? So those things would have really benefited. Those were questions that came to mind just initially when I heard that's what you were going to say. Otherwise, you said you're going to give two reasons. The actions and benefits, okay, if you adopt my proposal. So that roadmap sounded good. You got full credit for that. You told us on your significance statement that many famous people have bios written about them. But what about you and me? Well, what about you and me? Most of us aren't going to be famous. Maybe don't even deserve to have a bio written about us, but Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Your argument was we all have beautiful lives, maybe, and but it is all forgotten when we die, right? That's true. There's a great Phil Oakes song I recommend to you if you haven't heard it. That talks about, when you die, it's gone, but you better do it here and now, and not when you think about doing something in the afterlife. So yeah, it's a good thought. So I gave you good credit for your significant statement because you did include the we and they, and so that was good. You included your audience and involved them. On your first reason why you wanted people to buy the Eternalist, download the Eternalist, as you said, is it'll help you become your best self. And here you quoted the Fitness Journal, in particular, power lifter, and you said that he recommends you keep a workout log, and you went into the idea that if you have a goal and set a goal, and you see your patterns, and you have a weight loss goal or a muscle goal or that sort of thing, it can be a motivator and that sort of thing. And that all seemed fairly good. I thought a personal story of you using it here would have been helpful, or a friend would have used it that has found success rather than, than Tim, would have been helpful. And you did say, I feel that this documentation in my life, I know this data can help me become more self-aware, but you left it general. So your second reason was that I want you to download so that you can help your legacy live beyond your death. And here you sort of undercut yourself, and you sort of said, especially down when you talked about actions you want to take, you sort of said, now, I know you guys don't really want to download this, so, I wish you hadn't said that, because, I was thinking about it. Especially, I was going to look at it, and see if it was free, or I was curious about it, because I appreciate, too, the creativity that's involved in making that. In any case, you made a reference to the Black Mirror episode, which I suppose everyone in this room knows what that is. I don't, but does everyone know what the Black Mirror episode is? Okay, well, I stand corrected. It's Greek to me. And it involves exploring your consciousness post-mortem. So your argument here was that we want to be able to explore things after we're gone. That's the idea, right? So, okay, so you said we don't want it to be lost like dust scattered in the wind, and we don't want to leave nothing but the memories of others. Okay. On your actions, you said sign up for the Internalist, but you said, I know you probably don't want to, so you quickly shifted to set some ideas and goals, try to make yourself accountable, look at the information, check your goals, this sort of thing. I thought that you sort of undercut yourself a little bit, and I would have liked more specificity in your specific actions. You called them concrete actions, but I would like to see them be more concrete. What I didn't see after the concrete actions was a section that I put in the prompt called benefits, and you alluded to it in your preview, but I didn't hear you say, and now some great benefits will come to you, and they might be 1, 2, and 3, and you'll be thinner, happier, and you'll feel that you're going to leave a long legacy, that sort of I also was looking to have an overt word, and in summary, I've given you 2 reasons, 3 actions, and some benefits that you will get if you download my app. There should be no doubt in this room, which you did say, that you should download the Eternalist. And you had a good tie back. Let's look at your canal. You said you needed more emotions, and you wanted to exaggerate your emotions. You said, I want less sporadic eye contact. You wanted, I'm assuming, to make 5 seconds of quality eye contact all around the room. I guess that's what you meant. I hope so. And you said you wanted to look more alive and in the now. Well, talk to us about that, please. How did your canines go?
I think I need to rewatch it later on YouTube, but
Great.
I think, so I don't know about the eye movements because that's like something that it's hard for me to know when I'm doing it, but I think I was more emotional than in the past because I was more passionate about the subject. And then, what was the last one? It was, the last one was.
Is that a class or where is the class? Can you shut the door of that class? Thank you.
You want to shut this door?
Yeah. It's interrupting us. It's disturbing us. Well, I think you were more emotional. I think there was some more passion that came from you. There was, and check your eye movement. You want to, you seem to be, there were times when you were more alive, but I must tell you, I thought there were times when you weren't really completely believing in yourself. Actually, what I meant was you shut. There you go.
Oh, it is.
Oh, this goes, we're still getting there?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay, well, thank you. Let's talk about how sticky this speech was and how maybe we can make it a little more sticky. Was it a simple message? Perhaps not as simple as it could have been, and I think you could have made it simpler. What did you put in unexpected that was designed to really get our audience's attention? Maybe what you can do is shut their back door, because that's still open a little bit. Did you do that? Tell them I said to do it.
So I think the statistic that we created like more data in the last year than we have for the entire human history was pretty surprising. Yeah, I thought that was kind of like the main surprise.
Yeah.
But also kind of like the idea of having a journal that writes itself is kind of surprising. Like that concept, that idea is a little bit unique.
Okay.
So I thought those 2 things were kind of surprising.
Right, large data that writes itself. Okay.
Yeah.
You were pretty credible, given that you had written your own program, and that I think gave you credibility. You had your Chicago-style footnotes, although you didn't really refer to them much in terms of the dates when they were given, but that was pretty credible. You were pretty credible. Was it concrete or abstract? There were times when it was a little bit too abstract in my judgment. And the emotional, if you could have given us a time when you'd used it and how great it was and how important it was, I think that would have been good. Stories and more stories, that's where I felt we really needed to have more stories that come out and tell stories about you and how other people had used your software. I think stories would have been memorable and really would have sold this more to us. Otherwise, you did a good job. Thank you very much, Aaron.
Just gonna write the URL for my.
Oh yeah, that's great. Please do, yeah.
That's probably kind of small, but
That's good. Okay.
Is that I-O?
yeah, it's not I.
What was the time, sir?
6:37.
37, great. Hi, are you a volunteer to give blood? No. Just to give your speech, huh? Okay, good. Thank you. Did you shut it all the way or just most of the way?
I close all the way.
Good. Thank you for your courage, yeah. Let me get some adjustment going on here, please. Can you take a step that way? I like that. I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. Saloni is in the power stance, nicely put. She's looking around the room. Get that evil phone away. What do you think, darling? I love you. Can't wait. Oh, you're writing it down here. Okay, that's legitimate. Making sure all eyeballs are upon you. Good. Communicate respect non-verbally. Say to yourself, I respect my audience, really mean it. Find friendly eyes near the front and center. Say your name. Feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi, I'm Saloni.
Hi, Saloni.
Did you know that when you're driving in a car at a speed of 55 miles per hour, you can travel the whole length of a football field in 5 seconds? You might be wondering why I'm telling you this, but the NHTSA, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, uses this line to highlight that the minimal amount of driving attention that a driver loses when they're looking at their phone for a text for 5 seconds is that amount of time. So basically, in 5 seconds, when you look at your phone for a text, you could travel the length of a football field. Today, I want to persuade you not to text while you drive. I'll give you 2 reasons why you shouldn't text while you drive, 3 actions you can take to prevent yourself and others from texting while they drive, and 3 benefits that will follow from that. Don't text while you drive. It sounds like common sense. However, adolescents and college students, we're in a time where we think we're invincible. We can multitask. We can drive and answer a text. I'm pretty sure many of you have done it. And the first time you do it, you're like, wow, I'm fine, nothing happened to me. So you think I can do it again, I can keep doing it. And I know this because many of my friends text while they drive. And only when I'm in the car and I call them out on it, do they stop. And that scares me, because I'm not always gonna be in the car with them. And nor will another passenger. You won't have another passenger to look on the road while you quickly look down at your phone. And that's scary. I don't want you all to feel how I feel when one of my loved ones gets in the car and I'm scared that they'll get distracted by the phone and I'll never see them again. Because the thing is, whether you're young or old, whether you drive or you don't drive, you're gonna get affected by someone texting while they're driving. And that's a fact. So the first reason why I want you not to text while you drive is because it's dangerous. In those 2 to 20 seconds where you're looking down, you have no idea what's going on the road. In 2016, the NHTSA said that 3,450 people were killed and 391,000 people were injured in motor vehicle car crashes. The main reason was because of distracted drivers. And not to mention that they highlighted that the most alarming distractor was texting. So when I see these statistics, I'm so disappointed. Something as simple as looking down at your phone can kill somebody, and it's easily preventable. Just don't do it. And this brings me to my second reason. Simply put, it's selfish. Not only are you putting yourself at risk, you're putting anybody in the car with you at risk, and anybody on the road, including pedestrians. In 2010, Oprah Winfrey wrote an op-ed article in the New York Times called "Don't Text and Drive." In this article, she talks about an experience where she meets this couple whose 9-year-old daughter named Erica was struck by a car while she was on her bicycle because the driver was distracted by a phone call. She was 15 pedals away from her front door. 15 pedals. When I heard that, I was appalled. Can you imagine a phone call or a text more important than your daughter? And so when you hear that, I just get so angry. And you're not only selfish because you're putting other people at risk, but you're selfish because you put yourself at risk. And why you say? It's because you're not thinking about your loved ones. And I realized this my senior year of high school. At my high school, to park on campus, you have to attend this class held by the local DMV. It's just about the safety of driving. And in that class, there was a segment talking about texting and driving. The story was of a mother who texted her daughter Cassandra, "I love you." Cassandra was on the freeway driving, and she decided to reply to that text. And she was going to say, "I love you too." So what was shown is she got to the "I love you too," the T-O part, and it didn't get to that last O, because a car quickly switched into her lane, and she wasn't paying attention. She was looking at her phone, and it flipped over, and she got onto the other side of the freeway. And she was instantly killed at that point. The story is bad enough, but they showed the interview of the mother, and she was hysterical. You could see that this woman woke up every day thinking, "I wish I didn't send that text to my daughter. I love you. I wish I didn't send that." Can you imagine that? Being a parent and waking up being like, "I'm the reason my daughter's not with me today." So obviously when I hear this, I get angry. I was so mad at Cassandra. Like, why would you do that to your mother? And you think that might be harsh because it was just like, she was just replying, "I love you too" to my mom, right? But those words seem so meaningless when she could actually be there present with her. And so, to prevent hearing other stories like Erica's and Cassandra's, I want to tell you 3 actions you can take to prevent yourself from texting and driving and others from texting and driving. So first, if you're a passenger in the seat and you see your friend or whoever is texting and driving, tell them, "Hey, I can send the text, dude, just give me the phone." And if it's too important, if it's too personal, just say, "Honestly, pull to the side. I'm not in a rush, you're not in a rush, just pull to the side and send the text." The second, set up an auto reply text when you're driving. We live in a day and age where you can pre-write a text, and anytime someone texts you, you can say, "Hey, I'm driving right now, can't talk." Simple as that. And lastly, if you know a friend or someone that's just adamant, it's just a bad habit, they're like, "I have to text," or "I just need my phone in my hand," get them a hands-free device, some kind of Bluetooth device. Now, I caution you about this because technically this is still a distractor, right? Because you're talking on the phone, but it's still better than texting driving because not only are your eyes on the road, but your hands are on the wheel as well. So 3 benefits that can come from these actions. First and foremost, you're saving yourself, you're saving any passenger in the seat, and you're saving anybody on the road. Second, you decrease the likelihood of any kind of car crash or car accident. And third, you're saving your loved ones and other loved ones from a lot of grief. So in summary, I told you 2 reasons why you shouldn't drive and text, 3 actions you should take, and 3 benefits that can come from that. In conclusion, there should be no doubt in this room that I don't think you should text and drive. So the next time you're in the car and you hear that ding, and you think, "I'm just going to look really quickly," or "I'm just going to reply really quickly," think that in those 5 seconds, you can travel a whole football field. And that Erica was 15 pedals away from the front door. The thing is, you're never going to be quick enough, no matter how much you think it is. So just please take that into account and don't put yourself at risk because not only your life is going to change. Thank you.
Thank you. We're here. Hi, Alex.
I really liked your speech. You spoke very passionately. I could tell that you really cared about your subject, the topic. I thought that it was particularly impressive, like the number of stories and data and like research you had done, so that you could really convince everyone in the audience how important it is and how like how much can happen in 5 seconds. So I thought that was really good.
Thank you. Alex? What was the time?
7:37.
Improvement.
Hi, I'm Spencer.
Hi, Spencer.
One improvement would be just like speak a little louder, because like in the back it's like tough to hear because you're very soft spoken.
Good speech, Saloni, but you do, and I've told you this before, you do need to learn to speak a little louder, especially in the beginning. I don't want you to speak so loud that you don't have any place to go. I don't want you to sort of have your conclusion or climax in the beginning and then you're soft-spoken at the end. I don't mean that, but, you know, people had to lean in the beginning to hear your story and your thesis, and that's not good. This is a really excellent speech. I would like to ask you to show this to other students because I like so much of what you did. It wasn't perfect, but it was good. So let me suggest some ways that you can grow, and you can start by stop this swaying, lock your legs a little bit, get a little wider in the power stance. Good. So you started with that good old statistic. I hope you got the idea out of your sticky text that you know, it's not enough to say, you go a long ways traveling at 55 miles an hour, but when you say you travel the length of a football field, that's a long way, damn it, you know. And I like that very much. You also gave it credibility because you told us it was from the National Highway Traffic Association, and you said it was within 5 seconds. Now, this was the kind of speech that still I want to encourage you to get more of an emphatic style of delivery in 5 seconds, see? Your thesis was perfect, not text and drive, 2 reasons, 3 actions, and benefits. Your significance statement was right on track, and I happen to agree with you. As far as it goes with adolescents and college students, they think they're going to live to be 95, and anything they do is okay. You know, I mean, but it doesn't just apply to college students. You know, after all, Lady Di thought she was famous and didn't have to wear a seatbelt. You know, she went speeding through Paris suburbs. Come on, right? Adults do. I see plenty of adults, men and women, texting next to me, and I'm horrified. I used to honk, but I don't want to get shot, so I just mind my own business now. Yeah. You had a lot to say in your significance statement. And one thing I like, don't steeple. It's a very bad habit, and you steeple during your speech. I know it's hard because you feel so superior, but don't do that. It's very bad. Very bad, yeah. One thing you said in your SIG statement that I love, I was nodding so much, I was nodding my head off, was it's really good to call your friends out on it because they will listen to you. Like, what the F are you doing? What are you trying to kill me? You know, and, you know, when I go to tournaments, and we go to tournaments in the debate car and a student takes their seatbelt off, I rip them a new opening. What do you think you're doing? You know, what do you think? You're immune from gravity? You know, I just read them the riot act. You know, it's ridiculous. What? You know. I like everything you said in your significance statement. It probably is where you could have picked up some time if you were timing it, but I felt it really got the significance across. And I thought it was very thorough, and I loved it a lot. On your first reason, and I like the way this goes to your Heath and Heath text, which is to say, this is a simple speech. Why do you want people not to text and drive? It's dangerous. It's selfish. You know, it's dangerous. It's selfish. You know, just simple reasons, just straight up, right? So it was good. So you cited the 2016 National Highway Traffic Safety Association, and here's where you blurred over just how large this is. 3,450 people were killed, and 391,000 were injured due to distracted drivers. Holy cow. That's a boatload of people, you might have said as an aside to emphasize that big number. So you're more with your voice and with an aside. See? Yeah. To really get it going. Yeah. So you left out, but you left out that you feel disappointed. You left out your emotion at that, but you really made up for it in your second reason. So let's go there now. You said selfish, and you cited the op-ed piece of the New York Times, which has good credibility. And it says, don't text and drive. And it was a great story because you use very visual images of a 9-year-old daughter that was struck while she was riding her bike, and she was 15 pedals away from her front door. And you stress that, 15 pedals. Wow. And then you said, I felt appalled. And that came through, and that really cemented the statistic, and you made a good emotional connection and cemented your reason there and really left an impression on your audience. On your second story that you had there about taking the automobile club class, which I think should be mandatory, not just for people that drive to high school and want to park there, is this texting one where this mother for life carries that around with her. I won't mince words, she killed her daughter, you know, with this cutesy little text, you know, I love you, and then her daughter half responsible, I love you, mommy, you know, crash, boom, she's gone. Here you, once again, say, I felt with anger, but you steepled as you said it, so cut. used the name Cassandra, and that was good. On your action, pull over if you must. I can't, I make fun of people in class that text, like I said, what are you texting your girlfriend, I love you? He had a good comeback, but what can't wait? I can't, tell me something can't wait. What can't wait? Are you texting now? What can't wait? Oh, is that? Okay. That can't wait, okay. But mostly things can wait, right? Yeah. The auto reply, maybe a little specificity. Oh, maybe I everyone knows how to do that, so say. If you don't know how to set it up, ask a friend. I wasn't very thrilled with the Bluetooth. You're steepling again. I wasn't very thrilled with the Bluetooth idea. Because I think sometimes people get so deep in conversation, it's a distraction too, but that's just me.
But I cautioned it.
Yeah, I know you did. You had a caveat. On your benefits, saving lives, less crashes, and saving loved ones. You won't have any personal grief. Excellent. Summary, conclusion. And one thing I loved about your tie back, it wasn't just a tie back to your very first thing about the football field, but you gave us the whole shot of all the 15 petals and all the great stories. So we had to convulse again, remembering them all. So it was a really excellent speech, watch the time, but good job. Do you steeple around in life all the time when you talk to people?
Yeah, I just didn't realize.
You
I didn't
do
know
it in
meant,
class or just here, right?
Yeah, I didn't realize it gave a superiority. I thought just more emphasis, but I guess.
No, next time you ask your boss for a raise, watch what he or she does. Or your parents, they like to do it to their children. Okay, thank you very much, Solomon. Just chill for a minute, please. Let's set that one. Second place. Yeah. Okay. You've had plenty of time to do the app. Now you're interpersonally texted, admit it. Okay. Alex stands before us in the power stand. Communicating respect, non-verbal, looking around the room, making sure all eyeballs are upon. Communicating respect non-verbally, finding friendly eyes near the front and the center. Say your name, feel the love. Start your speech.
Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Carpe diem. It's a Latin mantra meaning seize the day. Don't let it drift off. Take control of it from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. If you choose to live by one saying for the rest of your life, I highly recommend it be this one, because everything will fall in place if you wake up every morning with the attitude of accomplishing your goals. Today, I want to persuade you to wake up earlier. I'll present 2 reasons why you should wake up earlier, and some actions that you can take, and some benefits you'll enjoy if you adopt my proposal. Ben Franklin said in 1735 in his journal, "Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise." Now the message is clear. Waking up early can make you successful, more intelligent, and happier with your life. So now the first reason why I want you to wake up earlier is because it gives you more time in your day. And not only does it give you more time, it gives you more productive time, almost always. Many people do not have time in their busy days to do what they love most. And it's sad because this often leads to people giving up on their dreams. According to Dr. Stephen Covey, in his best-selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he says that the key to success is finding an uninterrupted block of time to pursue your passion. And what better time is there than before everyone else is awake? Dr. Covey cites famous people such as Richard Branson and Ben Franklin as having attributed their success in life to their early rising habit. And not only does this early rising habit give you more time in the day, but as Dr. Covey says in his book, this time is more productive because you're all by yourself without the distractions and commotion of the world around you. And I feel that people don't understand the value of this time until they experience it for themselves. Unlike staying up late to be productive, getting up early gives you a block of time where the only people are awake are people who are highly motivated individuals who are like working towards their goal, and they're trying to achieve a goal for themselves. And I found that I personally am able to accomplish a lot more in a lot less time if I do it early in the morning versus late at night. So now the second reason that I want you to wake up earlier is because it will help improve your mental health. And the support that I'm going to use for this argument is my own personal experience. Because 6 months ago, I was in a much different place than I am now. Last December, I was at the bottom of a downward spiral that I've been going down for months. I had trouble getting my schoolwork done. I could hardly even convince myself to go to class. I was waking up past 11 every day. I was not even involved in a lot of extracurricular activities that would allow me to pursue my passions. And ultimately, I felt an overwhelming sense of failure to myself. And no matter how bad I felt about it, I couldn't even bring myself to do anything about it. Until over winter break, I talked to my grandfather, and he convinced me to go to the Marine recruiting office when I come back to talk about pursuing a career in the Marines after I graduate. And before I knew it, I was involved in a program that required me to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 3 days a week. And I thought I couldn't do it. And the first day I went, it was miserable. The second day I went, it was miserable. The third day I went, it was miserable. But the fourth day was different. It was the start of a new week, and I went in committed to use the extra time that I had that day to my own advantage. So when I came back from the office at around 7:30 that morning, I took a long shower, I shaved, I brushed my teeth, and I went to the lounge in my dorm, and I sat down to do some work. And that morning, I was able to finish an essay that wasn't due for another week. And I still had time to call my parents and check in with my family for about an hour before I had to go to class. And that day changed me. I found myself after that being highly motivated each and every day. I was setting goals, I felt a sense of purpose, and I overall felt much happier than I had just 6 months prior. And so, with that said, I feel that the most effective way to get over a slump in your life is to wake up early and face your fears. Challenge yourself. Eat something, study, exercise, do something that you wouldn't typically have time for in your day-to-day life. So now, I'd like to share 3 concrete actions that you can take, and this will help you in your goal to wake up earlier and feel more motivated. First, set your alarm for 20 minutes before your usual wake-up time, and use that time to take a shower, or eat breakfast, or exercise a little, so that you're ready to tackle the day as soon as your obligations roll around. Second, I want you to go to bed earlier. I want you to find out for yourself, because everyone needs a different amount of sleep to be functional, how early you need to go to bed so that you'll be well rested and your body will be ready to go bright and early the next day. And third, and possibly most importantly, you have to stop snoozing your alarm. Because the quicker you get out of bed, the quicker your body is getting adjusted to being awake. And waking up early is all about having a little bit of self-discipline. And that self-discipline starts when you get out of bed at the time that you set your alarm to go off the night before. Because that's the time that you wanted to wake up. You have to wake up then. And it's going to be really challenging at first. I promise you it's going to be challenging. But once you perform these actions, you will feel a new sense of purpose, I promise. You will feel a new sense of purpose, and you will go around every day feeling accomplished, knowing that you were up and active before everyone else around you, almost everyone. There are other people who are up early, but you know that they're highly motivated individuals like yourself. So you want to be like them, and they're going to be like you. So in summary, I've shown you 2 reasons why you should wake up earlier, and some actions that you can take, and some benefits that you will enjoy if you wake up earlier. And so now, there should be no doubt in this room that you should all try to wake up a little bit earlier. And many of you will be stubborn and say that there's no way that you can do this because you're just not that type of person. And I know this because I was not that type of person 6 months ago. But I committed myself to giving it a shot because I had heard of all the potential benefits if I started to wake up earlier. And I've never looked back. In the past 6 months, I've accomplished more than I could possibly imagine. And it's simply because every day I wake up with Carpe Diem running through my head and flowing through my veins. And that's the truth. Because I want you all to go out tomorrow, not the next day, tomorrow, challenge yourself, and seize the day. Thank you.
Thank you. Don't stand so back by the wall. Don't be afraid. Come forward. Don't be afraid of your audience. Good. Okay, well, we're somewhere, I guess, here.
Hi, I'm Mira.
Hi, Mira.
I really loved your speech. I thought it was very passionate and very fluent, and yeah.
Thanks.
Improvement.
Hi, I'm Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
I think it was, really passionate. Personally, I'm a morning person, so I really was able to relate to it. Just like being able to recommend, like, to the benefits of it. As far as improvement goes, local variety.
Okay. Yeah, Carpe Diem. This is a good speech. I liked it a lot. I think you got started well with your Carpe Diem, which you immediately translated. I would like to see you be a little less, let me put it differently. I would like to see you be more approachable in the beginning by smiling and not being so serious. You almost seem like you're at attention at a Marine Corps inspection. Okay, look at me, drill sergeant. Are my shoes shine? And you don't. You want to be connected in a friendly way with your audience to start with, so they'll like you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you then got very personal and said that you wake up every morning with us, and you used it as a mantra of sort of a life philosophy, and I think that's good. I think it's, I know that some of the senior citizens, we had a little banquet for our debate team recently, and some of our older debaters showed up, and one of them said to me something amusing. He goes, "I'm just happy to wake up every morning and get another day." And that's a similar thing to Carpe Diem, it's like, another day, another chance to live life and do something good, so, yeah. your message was simple. Wake up earlier. 2 reasons, 3 actions. You adopt the proposal. You went to Ben Franklin, his journal. You even had a citation for where it came from, which you did in the Chicago style, which I was happy about. Makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. And you then reiterated Ben Franklin's advice. I would have just said, can lead you, meaning the audience, to be more successful. So just a little more inclusion would have been helpful. Alex, your first reason was you sort of buried your lead because it gives you more time in the day. You want to just say, hey, more time, you know. The reason I want you to wake up, more time is the reason I want you to wake up early. So you get the essence out there. Early. You quoted Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Effective People. You might add, very popular book, bestseller, lots of people, stress it with your boys, lots of people have turned to Dr. Covey for advice for improving their lives, and, so good source, good expert that you led with. And I was worried you were going to leave it at that, but you didn't. You gave us the personal story about how you were able to wake up early and so forth. And so you gave us something personal by waking up early. You accomplish more. And so we knew that this wasn't just book knowledge you were trying to give us, but there was some self-knowledge involved too. On your second reason, improve your mental health. Again, I would bury the lead. Improve mental health is the second reason. I want you to wake up early, right? Then you told a very personal story about being depressed and down in the dumps and watching Netflix till 4 in the morning and waking up at 11 and, doing nothing productive and not doing your homework and vegging out. And then you talk to your grandfather or uncle or somebody important who suggested a little self-discipline, grandfather, who suggested a little self-discipline from the Marine Corps might turn your life around. And so you thought you could give it a try. Leave your hands open, be open and easy. And you laid it out with 4 days, hell. Ooh, then you said finally the 4th or 5th day it was okay. And I like the way you told that story and said that it finally became something worthwhile and good. And I thought that was a good story and a good reason to you were a living example of improving your own mental health. And so I was tied back to the mental health word in the before I went on to my concrete actions. Wake up 20 minutes, good. Try to get out of bed early, yeah. So your body will be rested, go sleep early. I like the third one, stop snoozing your alarm, One thing you can always do is, get up and brush your teeth, make your bed so there's nothing to get back into and snooze longer, right? you'll feel you've at least accomplished one thing in the day by making your bed, right? Good advice, huh? Yeah. And your benefits, I wish, again, you keep burying the lead in the middle. We didn't hear benefits until about 7 wordy words way down in. It really starts to be intelligent at first, but I promise you when you perform these actions, you will feel some new sense of purpose. What is this? I don't know. Anyway, so fourth or fifth, I want to share benefits. Great things will happen. A sense of purpose, accomplishment. Don't bury the lead. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to say to you. When you walk, you're going to notice. Smile. When you walk over there, you were laser pointed on just this side of the room. I think this side of the room kind of felt a little left out. So look over at Connie occasionally and say, "Hey, Connie, how you doing?" And give her a wave, because a glance over there then doesn't make that side of the room feel so left out. The same way when you're over here and you walk